So thanks, Kenneth Goldberg, for giving us some statements on digital duty. And you're an expert in robotics, so I would like to ask you some questions. How do you feel about the concept of singularity?
Well, I don't like that term at all. Actually, I think it's a very misleading term, and I think it creates a lot of fear. That it has an appeal from a science fiction point of view. People like to talk about it, and it sounds scientific, but it is frightening because it seems to suggest that there's this moment when computers suddenly they reach a transition where they suddenly start to become much smarter than humans. I'm not crazy about the term superintelligence either. I think that these terms are dramatic. They dramatize the idea of an AI system that is very deeply rooted fear. Everyone is concerned that we'll become surpassed or irrelevant, but that's why I've introduced this idea of multiplicity as essentially an antidote or a response to it, because I think we have much more positive associations and actually much more positive potential around the idea of multiplicity.
Yeah. So how can multiplicity apply in our lives? What do you mean by this concept?
So what I mean by multiplicity is the idea that how we work together with groups of humans and groups of machines. We know that groups of machines can actually do better than a single machine. Groups of algorithms can work better than a single algorithm. And we also know that groups of humans work better than individual to solve problems, to be creative often. And so, but there's not a good science behind this. We don't understand why and how to amplify this in the right ways. We see experience of it, but we don't have really a theory or enough data. So it's starting to emerge, and I think, though, that by thinking about some of the results from ensemble theory, from statistics, things like random forests and other techniques that we know we can quantify their performance, can we apply some of these to human groups and start to understand how a diverse group of humans and diverse groups of machines can work together? And that the key is diversity here. It's very, very important to understand that diversity is essential, not just as a political correctness or something that sounds good, in some kind of idealistic way. It's very practical that if you want to get something done efficiently or creatively, that having a diverse group of humans is very valuable. So this applies, and I think we can start to apply it in so many different things in teaching and education. We can use it in solving problems with our colleagues. Companies can use it to really start thinking about how they're really essentially combining their resources, machines and their human. That having one universal law or universal set of principles may not be the right thing. That multiplicity would say that we want to have many different viewpoints, which seems to be the way the world is going. But those can be collectively combined in interesting ways to move us constructively toward the future.
One last question. You say that robots can inspire us to be better humans. That's a nice sentence, but what do you really mean with that?
Yeah, so what I mean by that idea of robots inspiring us is that I really believe that when we look at robots, when we struggle to try and create robots, we gain an appreciation for what humans are very good at. That being able to change a human diaper, a baby's diaper, is an incredibly complex task. That is not going to be solved by a robot anytime soon. And that I think there's thousands of examples of this, that human dexterity, human insight, human abilities to play sports, to dance, to be creative, to interact, to pick up signals from each other. These are very nuanced things. And so in other words, robots inspire us because as we realize how robots fall short, we gain a new appreciation for the amazing abilities of humans.
Very good last statement. So nature did a good job over the last.
Nature has done a great job.
Yes,
Exactly. We can appreciate that. And
Yeah,
respect it.
yeah. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Fine.